Don't forget to subscribe, guys. It means so much. Thanks. Hey guys, what's going on? It's MegaMilez here. Today I'm actually making a video about my favorite game, Rock Galactic, which is kind of ironic because I really haven't. I stream it a ton on Twitch, but yeah, I've got pretty much 3,000 hours, and so I was like, you know what? I need to make a video because the player base is currently growing, which is amazing to see. I always see newer players in my lobbies, and I wanted to make a video that could help out newer players. So this is my top 10 tips on how you can instantly be a better teammate in Rock Galactic. So I hope it helps you out. If it does, leave that like, comment, and let me know what you think about the list. Just out of curiosity, if you think something should have been on there that wasn't, or if there's something that was on the list that you never even realized. So without further ado, here we go. Now the first thing we're going to cover is very, very basic, but just because a lot of people miss this when they first start playing, I know I did for a while. I'm gonna just go through it really quickly. So if you already know how to do this, I apologize. There should be other helpful information in the video, but this will help someone guaranteed. So you got to know how to equip your perks, okay? So these are your perks, right? And you earn perk points. So I've earned everything because I play this game a lot, but you got to claim your rewards here, which give you perk points, which you then spend here, and it's a tiered system, so you can pick what you want. If you're brand new, I strongly recommend just going Thorns, and then you can pick whatever else you want. So you purchase them here, okay? And most people, I think, oh, okay, they're done there. No, you have to come over here to the weapons terminal, and then you equip them here, okay? And so you'll unlock other slots through that, the little tree. It's the star guy. So new passive perk slot. So once you get to the 4th tier, just be sure to get that because you're getting a new passive perk. That's how you equip them. And it's super important because it gives you, various little abilities that you wouldn't have otherwise. And the sooner you figure out how to do it, the better. So that's why it's in this video. This might seem really obvious, but the key to being a great teammate is to know your role of the class that you're playing. So if you haven't read these little descriptions, these give you like a brief overview. It's like, as driller, you're going to be equipped with drills. Your job is to clear terrain and block tunnels and stuff like that. So know all of these. It becomes like more complex than it is at the surface because certain builds of certain classes are really effective against certain enemies. So when you're on a team, you'll say, okay, I should probably take out the breeder because chances are everyone else is going to expend a lot of ammo to take out that breeder. So that comes over time, that kind of knowledge. But in a general sense, yes, the driller, you drill through tunnels. You can drill up to grab certain things, access certain areas, create paths for the team and like a quark missions. Pretty much you're improving accessibility, and you have pretty good crowd control with your weapons. Engineer, you have a platform gun, which is like the scout's best friend almost. Though it's not that necessary, but you have to place your platforms pretty effectively. It just makes the scout's job a lot easier, and he'll appreciate you for that. Engineer is really good at creating perimeters with the sentry guns and the firepower that the weapons have. It also plays like a role in like prepping certain areas to kind of create like to funnel the enemies, if that makes sense. So you'll have like bug repellent on your platforms, and you can kind of utilize those, as you learn more about the game. So if I had to summarize engineer, firepower, okay? Gunner, the firepower is amazing, and most importantly, learning how to shield res is key. It can save your missions. Doing it properly is really simple and really effective. A scout, clearly you go scout. You put up lights for your team, very important, so the team can see, not just you. And you make sure to prioritize nitra. Of course, you're getting all the other minerals, but you need to be aware of your team's ammo, what's going on, and prioritize nitra if and when necessary. Okay? A lot of scouts don't do that, and that is key to being a good scout for your team. One last thing about all of these classes is you have to play each one to understand the roles and how best to help other players that are playing other classes on your team. So for example, I played engineer for a long time before I ever played scout. Okay? So I was placing platforms, and I'd even ask people that were in my games, I'm like, hey, where do you prefer the platform to be placed? Why? Because I didn't know. I was never a scout, so I didn't know how it was being up there mining a mineral and where the platform was placed. Because there are horrible platform placements, and you're like, dude, what's this guy doing? And which sometimes it's like they might be across the map, and the platform gun kind of like has an arch when you shoot it over distance. So yeah, just it really helps. Of course, you can't do that right away. What I recommend is getting all of your classes to at least 1-star promotion, so that way you can also equip weapon overclocks, which is game changing. So just go at your own pace. You know, I will say the biggest hurdle to overcome is once you start playing a class and you start enjoying it and you upgrade the gear, when you switch to a class you haven't played, regardless of what it is, you're not gonna like it, chances are. I didn't like any new class I started playing until I played it for a while, and then I appreciated it. So just understand that going into it, and realize that you will have a lot of fun playing every class. Okay guys, so one thing I see a lot of newer players do is attempt to prep an area. This mostly applies to like an uplink area or fuel cells. They'll attempt to prep it, I'm assuming because they've seen other players prep and they think that they know what they're doing, but they just like, they make the mission itself way more difficult because they do it wrong. So either know what you're doing or just don't do anything, because you can make, pretty much you can single-handedly cause a mission to fail by bad prep. But I'm gonna show you some basics. By prepping, you use mainly your drills. You can use satchel charges, but for this I think we'll stick to the drills. So first and foremost, you want to clear out all the terrain, okay? However, a big mistake I see newer players do is when they clear terrain, they dig down into the ground. Okay, so you need to stay level, 0 degrees, okay? 0. You got a little thing here, okay? So like 0 to like 5 degrees or whatever. The whole point of prepping, at least like terrain like this, is like, say I'm fighting bugs like this, and I'm moving this way and I'm hitting stuff and I get stuck, you know? Like I'm like stuck here, you know? We don't want that when we're fighting. We want to be able to like skirt a wall, like this. This is bad to have here. This is bad because we have to jump over it. But if it's not there, and there's not a huge hole in the ground, it helps a ton. So let me clear this wave real quick. I'm trying to make a video bugs. So this can apply in a lot of scenarios. So you see how I'm at 0 degrees, keeping it nice and smooth. And if you make a little mistake, you can go back and smooth everything out. You know what I mean? But a lot of new players will dig straight down into the ground, and then it's like they try to fix it and then it just gets worse, and before you know it, it's like they've like it like I want to see if I can find a clip. I might try to play a few games and see if we can find a driller that does exactly what I'm saying, so you can see what not to do as well. So I think that's the best way you can learn. First and foremost, check if the wall is thin or if there's like another room on the other side. Here, we're fine, okay? So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna create like a little alcove, okay? So just follow along the edge. Be sure to keep your angle at 0, okay? See, like that. It doesn't have to be anything excessive, okay? I see a lot of people just go crazy and you'll create more harm than good. The key here is to keep the ground flat, okay? We don't want any difference, okay? And we don't want any like random spots you missed, okay? So what this does, it just kind of like gives you like a little area of additional cover if it got bad. And this works in synergy with engineers' platforms. Okay, so this is pretty much like the basic prep work you need to do. So we've cleared out the area. We've made a little alcove, and then like what a scout would or a engineer would do, they'd come put like a little row of platforms to pretty much just like lure the bugs around like this area right here, okay? So instead of like watching all of this area when you're fighting, you can kind of have like just, you know, fight from this direction, and then in front of you. The main point of this is to not like drill down and like ruin this area. We want everyone on the team to be able to move laterally without any like obstruction or like terrain level change. Sometimes like the uplink will fall on a slope, it's unavoidable, but if it's caused by the driller, it just sucks, okay? So don't do that. If you're not comfortable with your drills yet, because it does take time, then don't worry about the prep. One other thing that like as an experienced player that I really respect when I see new players doing this is people who help build sentry guns. So when I'm playing as engineer and someone helps me build my sentry gun, that tells me that they understand the game. You know what I mean? So even if you don't understand the game, just build people's sentry guns because it looks good. You know what I mean? And it takes like a split second. So an important thing about when rezzing, when you're fighting dreads, you have to recognize where the aggro is. So many people don't do that. So like he doesn't have aggro on me, so I'm safe to res. And also, as another teammate, you have to realize when you see someone down, someone's rezzing, not everyone needs to go over there to res. And this is important because if everyone goes over there, the dreads have aggro on somebody. So you're making all the aggro go to that one spot. So pretty much what that causes is everyone to go down. Kind of like right now.
Ollie, over here! The mule is for depositing minerals.
I'm gonna go to Enders and get some shit to spawn on him. Come on, yeah, do the dangerous comeback. Right up its butt. Got yourself.
Just pay attention to the little molly icons. If someone else is calling it, check the map. And it'll work out fine. Where's this guy at? Oh, yeah, Iron Will. That's another thing. Using Iron Will out of impatience. It's been like 3 seconds. It's been like 3 seconds. This, saving your Iron Will, is so damn important. Because, look, he went back down again. His Iron Will could be used later if we all, like, happen to go down. I've seen it so many times. So many people run Iron Will. The res doesn't come instantly. And so they burn it. Don't do that. If you run Iron Will, it's okay to go down. Be patient. You know, see if your team can come save you. Because that's the point of Iron Will. To like save the mission. So everyone's down and someone uses Iron Will to save the mission. You know what I mean? So yeah, just a lot of people do that, and sometimes you can if you're playing with a really experienced team and you know, like, oh, I made a mistake, but you know, everyone's really good, and even then that can burn you too. So one thing that's very important is not resupplying only to heal, okay? You want to use your ammo. This becomes more and more important on higher hazards. There are like special exceptions to it. Like, yeah, the mission's about to fail if I go down. So you have to burn one. But in general, you always want to check the squares. You see the 4 squares down by everyone's name? That's how much ammo everyone has. So you can also determine, like, hey, we're all about to need some ammo, or, you know, just I need ammo, or, you know, whatever the case is. Like right now, I'm not going to take mine because I still have some ammo. I can always come back to it. A lot of people will just not really properly utilize... What? Oh. A lot of people will just not utilize or maximize the ammo. They'll take a resupply, either to heal or just because it's there. So like right now, I'm going down. Like look what Driller's doing right now. He's doing exactly what we're talking about. He went down. He doesn't have any health. He still has plenty of ammo. Let me just expedite this for the sake of the example. So now he's going to resupply. See how I only have 2 squares? Now I'm actually going to resupply.
Getting supplies.
But he just did exactly what we're talking about. Isadrius, you are a prime example of this lesson to be made. Because I guarantee you, there's a little red sugar down here. And then after we fight a few more bugs, he can go back up and grab his resupply. So another thing that's really important, that is really... not a lot of people do it, surprisingly, is marking the drop pod for evac. And that serves a lot of purposes. Like, yeah, you can see this little icon here. However, especially if someone's drilling to the pod, it just helps being able to see the actual outline. So I always keep it marked if I get there first, or just like even if like, just if I'm there, make sure it's marked regardless of like who's there. Because it helps everyone visualize it just by actually seeing the whole outline versus just that little icon. So it really helps the team in a very subtle way. The driller's actually using it right now. He's drilling up, and because I've marked it, he can see where the ramp is without having to check the actual map. As he's satchel charging. But you see, if I didn't mark it, he would have to check the map, and it just makes it much more difficult. So that is one tip as well. One thing that's really important when you're playing as a scout is to not be a needy scout, okay? I realize like not all builds are suitable for the freedom of mining, but you don't need a freaking platform for every mineral. So instead of like putting this off to mine until your engineer platforms it, just learn how to mine by standing on top of the mineral or mining into the wall. That way it'll just be more efficient. It's great to have platforms. It's a convenience, but it's not necessary. And that will make you a much better teammate as a scout. Alrighty guys, that is my top 10 list on how to instantly be a better teammate in Deep Rock Galactic.
If this video helped you out, be sure to leave that like, subscribe here, check me out on Twitch, come hang out with us, watch some Deep Rock Galactic games, and maybe even hop into our server if you're on Steam. It's the same screen name, I'll link it in the description, but also let me know in the comments about the list, what you thought of it. If there was a point on there that you had absolutely no idea of that's gonna help your game, that's awesome. I want to hear about that. But also, if there's something you felt was missing, that's important for me to know as well, because I'm curious as to what your tips would be for, you know, someone new starting out. So yeah, with that said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night, and I will see you in the next one.